Hello and welcome to Season of War. We're back tonight with another exciting Age of Sigmar battle report. Ridge, you've come back on the channel for your second appearance.
Yeah.
Bringing your Seraphon back out, this time to face the Ossiarch Bonereapers.
Yep, no tech list, so liking it a little bit more, but we'll see.
Yeah. Obviously, I've got some spice in the form of 3 catapults, but you're not without your own...
Seraphon do the dirty stuff too. Oh
exactly,
yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So it'll be a very interesting match. Again, you've never played Ossiarch Bonereapers,
No.
So that's key. I've only had a couple of games with them, so I'm very much still learning the army.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're both excited to see what happens today.
For sure. And I know I watched the battle report with this list before, and I've seen Ossiarch Bonereapers a bunch on Bat Reps, so it's not like I don't know them at all. But I've just never actually played them. Yeah. So
the mission today is Force in the Hand, so 6 objectives. During each of our turns, the opponent has to choose one of their own 3 objectives to be worth an additional 2 points.
Yeah.
The other 5 throughout the game are just worth 1. So there's incentive to try and capture your opponent's, kind of big...
primary, yeah.
Exactly, primary objective. We're playing on the Realm of Hysh. So extra Mystic Shield with a spell.
Mm-hmm.
All the terrain is mystical for 6-up Feel No Pain, which I already have.
Yeah.
And then the command ability removes cover.
Mm-hmm.
So not the most impactful realm, but not the worst.
Could be for me. I like the extra Mystic Shield is
Doesn't
nice.
hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we get into the game, do you want to take me through your list?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm running pretty similar to what I played with the Lumineth. So it's a Fangs of Sotek list again. I actually took this list a couple weeks ago to a tournament and won. My first tournament ever, so that was cool. Essentially, it's the same. The only difference is now I have my Stegadon is my general. So he's the Skink Chief on Stegadon. He has the command trait Nimble, so he's +1 save, +1 move. And then he has the artifact that I have to take for Fangs of Sotek, which is the Serpent God Dagger. That makes it, if I do a wound to you, the rider does a wound to you, on a 5-up, it actually slays the model.
Oh, so right, yes.
That one, it's super fun and cool. And now actually on a melee hero could actually, you'd be cool.
Be interesting.
Yeah, so then my other heroes are, I have Croak again. He has the spell Stellar Tempest, so it's the Horde killer spell. And then I have an Astrolith Bear, a Skink Priest, a Skink Star Priest with Hand of Glory spell. And then I have the 3 Salamanders, the Unitosaurus Guard, a block of 40 Skinks with Moonstone Clubs and Bolt Spitters, and then 3 blocks of 10 Skinks with Shields and Bolt Spitters, just obviously as screens. So pretty similar, but I've been liking having the hero. I know we were talking about it. Like for certain battle plans, it's nice to have a hero that is
it's
defense.
A little more tanky.
Yeah, and actually, you want to be up in the field, not a little skink that's in the back.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
For sure. For me, I'm running Ossiarch Lords today. I have 2 battalions, one in the form of the Cavalos Lance, which is the 2 units of Cavalos Death Riders, and the Liege Cavalos. The other one is the Mortet Ballistari, which is 2 ballistas, my Mortet Guard, and my Bone Shaper. That one just lets me pass off wounds from the catapults to the Mortet Guard if I want to. Not super relevant. And then I have another Ballista putting me to 3 drops, so I definitely have dropped you here.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty small list. I don't, this is 600 points tied up in these guys alone, and then another over 200 in battalions. So I don't have a lot of fat to this army, which typically you see a lot more bodies in Bonereapers, and that's probably the way to go. Obviously, I'm just still working on getting all mine painted up.
You get Catacross going, and you get some more Mortek.
Yeah, I wanted to pull out the Mortis Praetorians with Catacross and some more Mortek. Just didn't have it ready in time for this match. So you just see a little bit of a different list. But this is one you'll see in the meta too, still with some fast bodies that can really get across the board.
Yep.
For today's match, we chose 2 auxiliary objectives. Again, they're very big in tournament play and very impactful. And they add another interesting element to the game, I feel. So for auxiliaries today, I took 2. The 2 I took were Domination, which is to kill 3 units in 1 turn, which is interesting. But I have choice of first, so it's going to potentially play into that decision. Other than that, I have Overwhelm as my second one, which is to kill one of your heroes with a battle line of mine.
Okay.
In melee. So that's either my Mortet Guard or my Death Riders.
Yeah, which seems pretty good there.
Yeah.
They're all killy guys.
I feel like even your Stegadon, he's going to get up there. So might have a chance to pick him off even if your other ones hide in the back.
For sure. Yeah, so I took, like we were talking, we didn't want to take ones that were just like super easy, like you're going to just get in a tournament, like we were saying, you want to kind of keep some of them for the end.
Yeah.
So against this type of army, you have, I think, 2 heroes.
Yep.
So I took Headhunter, just, have to kill all of your heroes, which in this case is only 2. And then I took Defender, actually, because I'm just thinking if I can actually kill all of the plan is to be killing all of your models before you get into my zone. Then I won't have them into my zone. So it's a little bit harder of one, but it's one that, I would want to maybe get out of the way so I can keep some of those easier ones for later.
The auxiliaries just add a little bit of an extra layer to the games, and I think it's important, especially talking about competitive play, to see the tactical depth and thought process. And like you said, we tried to choose auxiliaries that were more relevant and not just the easy ones, which, bait is sacrifice a unit. That one's easy to do. You sacrifice your screen.
The one you stay on your point for 2 turns.
Yeah, so we didn't choose those because in a 5-round tournament, you're only going to get to choose those once. So you ought to be able to play some of the other ones. Mm-hmm. And, this just makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah.
But with that, I obviously had choice of who goes first here, being that I outdropped you pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to take the turn. With domination, I think my best play is to actually potentially shoot off 3 of your skink units, even just your 310s, turn 1, which also means you're not capping these objectives very easily on your turn. So you have to then spread out, might adjust kind of what your plan was coming into the game. So
for sure it will, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I managed to. Got some catapults, so they can hopefully do the work.
Yeah.
But with that, we'll be going into Ossiarch Bonereapers, turn 1. All right, so finished up OBR turn 1. Pretty chill. No combats yet or anything. Unfortunately, though, pretty ineffective in terms of what I was hoping to get done. Between 3 catapults, 600 points, I killed 20 streams, 19 in the last one, battle shocked.
Yeah.
I was really hoping, I had 4 shots on each unit. All 3 units had 4 shots each. So really
2s and 3s.
Disappointing. You made a save with each of those units.
Yeah.
So statistically, that probably was about average.
A little below, I think, actually, but maybe. Close.
So just disappointing in terms of what I wanted to get done. Obviously, also the fact that I was trying to double down on getting my auxiliary done turn 1. Now that doesn't feel good. So I'll have to make it up, obviously, in the end. But the big thing is, you're still going to have these shitty little units to cap objectives. And that's their whole job. My, real hope was to take this one out. The other ones were going to be bonus, but unfortunately these guys are here, so you don't have to worry about relocating some of your power over here. So it's opened me up to the potential double turn now, which I was expecting. But again, what I was hoping for in terms of, making you go over here might mitigate it. So again, not effective. So that could really come in to bite me down the road. Other than that, though, I spread out. I took my 3 objectives as well as with a run move and then spending the RDP for +3.
Yeah.
I got my Mortet Guard up onto this objective as well. So I do score 4 this turn, which
I made a note. I made
start.
that my primary. We didn't say on the thing, but
so this would have been your primary.
I was thinking here, but then I thought of it. Obviously, the only thing I can get there are them, and just go far away from it. So.
Yep. So it's going to be going into Seraphon turn 1, and you're going to have a chance to try and get vengeance for your dead streaks.
Karok is pissed. So let's see.
All right. Sounds good. We'll go into Seraphon turn 1, bottom of round 1.
Yep. All right, awesome. Yeah, just finished up Seraphon, bottom of turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit bloody. I think I had an idea what I wanted to kind of do was take down the Mortek and kind of get as many points as I can. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get into the Mortek crawlers because you screened everything out well. So yeah, spell-wise, I got the Geminids off. I got some buff spells up. Comet, I rolled a 6. So it was 6 units, 3, 2, 2. So that was lucky there. And then the Sallies do what they always do. They smash with their shooting attacks. So I think I almost... I got a Stellar Tempest off as well on the 20 squad. I think I did 5 mortals.
Yeah, that's big.
So it's mortal... you know the story. It's mortal wounds.
Mortals and shooting. Obviously, that's how you want to take down OBR, not in combat. Right?
Yeah, and like I'm scared. Just that's the threat. So it's like I need to also just kill bodies around and... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. So, and then because you didn't kill the unit back there, I don't have to worry about that. I keep that point.
Yeah.
I teleported a unit of chameleon skinks over here, shot all their 10 shots at them. I mainly just wanted to get this point and then make you have to come backwards and get them.
Yes.
So it kind of takes the 5 out of place, or the 10, which you obviously aren't going to waste that. So that even more so, I just love that having a distraction of like just
for sure.
taking the point kind of thing.
Definitely puts me in a tough spot. Obviously, we were just talking where realistically, this is a pretty inefficient army list that I'm running today.
Yeah.
And especially taking first here, not getting the efficiency I wanted to out of preventing your scoring.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a tough turn if I don't win priority here.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just hoping for it. All I want to do is start to take out some of your threats. I need good utility out of my catapults this round, assuming at the turn, to work on your salamanders, start taking down your threats, really try and level the playing field, because you've definitely taken a big advantage here.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, not impossible, but definitely an uphill battle.
For sure.
6.
4. It's yours.
So I'm going to take it, obviously, here.
Yeah.
Again, needing to get a good turn of efficiency out, get good storing, kill a bunch of your units, and limit what you're going to be able to do over the next couple turns.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that into round 2, and OBR going first. All right, finished up OBR turn 2. Obviously, I think it was critical for me to get this turn, or else it could have gone downhill pretty quick.
Yeah.
This gave me the opportunity to take out your salamanders, which between my catapult shooting and then the Death Riders, I was able to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
Big thing I wanted to do was store, obviously, this round. My hope with these 3 was actually to run them over here, knowing that I was going to catapult off the rest of your skinks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so I did +1 to run, and I could have done the +3 to their move.
Yeah.
But even with that, I was like a millimeter out from getting 1 die onto the objective.
Yeah. You needed to roll a 6, essentially.
Yes.
You rolled a 5 for your run.
Yes. So I was super close to being able to get these guys on here, which was your 3-point objective.
Yeah, and that would have
which
been...
would have... I scored 5 for the round because I took all these, but that would have been an extra 3 for 8 points. Would have been... Good, really good, obviously, because you're a late game army. You can keep playing because you can summon and teleport and bounce around. So I really need to maximize the points while they're available.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really get as much as I would have liked to out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I had an effective turn. Obviously, killing those 5, killing these 5 skinks, and then finishing off the salamanders as well as the chameleon skinks over here.
Yep.
Now, the board's open. You're going to have, obviously, some opportunities to bounce around and do Seraphon things.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of just magicking, trying to kill all of this.
Yeah.
Not worry about that. And kind of, not worried about that because the Geminids being there is amazing
Yes.
too. Because I know in turn 3, all 3 of those were going to get hit.
Oh, yeah.
Minus
Oh,
1
yeah.
to hit. But that, and like you were saying, the late game is going to be these 40 that I've kept out of range of them the entire game. You probably will see them be doing something this turn.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, with that, we'll go into bottom of round 2 and Seraphon turn 2. All right, so I'll finish up Seraphon turn 2.
Yep. Pretty much did what I wanted to do. I failed. The only thing I didn't is just failed the charge here. So I failed my Skink Priest 3-up to get run and shoot, run and charge, +1 save, which is so huge because if I would have made that, I would have been able to run, would have got them all the way up the board here. I wasn't really paying attention to objectives. I really just wanted to kill what you're going to kill me with. Because I think in turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, I can hopefully, just win out just having more models and getting points. So I ended up only getting this point and then holding the same one I had there. Took them out, and then pretty much I know that no matter what's going to happen here, the Geminids are going to hit all 3 of those crawlers, and the Cavalos maybe kill him because he has 3 wounds left.
Yes.
So even if I don't win the turn here, I think I'm still in a pretty good spot. The 40 blob is still here, ready with fully buffed because both my heroes are both in there, so they can just teleport wherever they want and do some damage. I was gonna, like I was telling Jordan, I was gonna teleport the 40 here, and then I had +1 to run and +1 to charge, which is huge. I could have got the reroll here, but an 8-up rerollable charge, I was still like...
It is a little sketchy.
And I could have got that 40 blob into all the crawlers and all of that, which would have been really good. But
like you were worried. Also, downside is if you don't get the turn.
Yes.
Then they're
those
also
40
sitting...
skinks are dead.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of my army that now they're still going to be pretty much out of range. So, So just I played the kind of sure thing, and then I failed the 7-inch rerollable charge. But
well, it was after you shot. It was a little further because I pulled
8,
casualties there, so it was a little tougher.
It was a 9, but +1, so 8. So there you go. I failed the 8 rerollable here, which I feel better about than failing it over there.
Yes, exactly. All right, and objective-wise, it pains me that you still control this one, but then you took this one back. So you only scored 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
Now again, big 3-point swing, not me having taken. That would have been 4-point swing if I had have taken this one.
Massive, yeah.
Last round. But you score 2 here, so you are down 3 right now. But again, you have the bodies, you have the mobility.
Yep.
And we'll see if you get the turn.
Yep. All right.
Round 3 priority, 4 for me.
3.
Oh gosh, I'm getting what I need to stay in it.
You don't usually win priority, so for once it's...
Well, see, I win priorities when there's no stakes.
Yes.
As soon as it comes to tournaments, I never win them.
It's awesome.
But I expect it, so I'm ready for it.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right.
Well, we'll go into round 3 and OBR turn 3. All right, so the priority roll's keeping me in it, giving me a chance. But it obviously had a big impact here. So this turn, again, not a lot left on the board. Moved up at least Travelos, abandoning these, not trying to buff them up anymore. And obviously wanting to just store maximum points, take out as much as I can, reduce your ability to store, but it's so hard against Seraphon. But I did have some things going in my favor. Now that you got these 2 catapults, pretty heavily wounded, and this one a couple down as well, I actually used my hero sniping shot, the Cursed Steel, with all 3 of them. First one shot at Croak.
Yeah.
Didn't slay him.
4, I think.
Yeah. Second one, slayed Croak.
Killed a...
Yeah. And then this last one, and knowing that it's just Croak and your Astrolith Bearer
We're in the
that
garrison.
you're able to... Well, they're both garrisoned.
Yeah.
So I'm not even... The negatives don't even affect me because it's just trying to slay them, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to roll a hit. This last one then, I knew if I took out your Astrolith Bearer, you wouldn't be able to summon.
Yep.
So obviously just one less unit to worry about, or more potentially.
Which is huge right here.
So I went with the snipe on him as well, and I rolled a 10 or something.
Yeah.
So I ended up obviously doing pretty well. Now my shooting with those Cursed Steel, because they're wounded, is actually way better, way more reliable. So that's what made it me able to get those off.
Yep.
Definitely helped.
Yeah, it's a crazy ability,
Yeah.
especially against Croak. For what he does with the 4-up, feel no
That's the best way
pain,
to
to be
deal
able
with
to
him,
just
right?
slay him.
But yeah, the
what?
-1 hit, he's in cover. He's got
Yeah.
the 4-up, ignore wounds, and then also
and the guard to pass off wounds.
Yeah,
None of that. Nope, you're dead.
just straight up slaying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a first to happen to me for sure.
Killed the frog in his castle.
That's right.
So-
And I couldn't avoid it because, we were looking at with he true on his sight, they could see him no matter what. The Astrolith Bear,
really hard to avoid. Yeah.
Yes, I could have kept behind here, like I have my other heroes, but I wanted to keep that feel no pain that the Astrolith Bear gives, and just keep something within 6 so things weren't running if I needed it. like back with the Sallies, but they ended up dying. But yeah, that ability is really good.
Yeah, that was nice. And actually, the fact that you have wounded those worked against you.
Yeah.
But again, you still have lots of bodies. You still have your teleport.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope for another priority to go in my favor after your turn.
Yes.
But we'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
So with that, not a lot left for you either, but one big block of skinks that can dance around the board.
Yeah, do some damage for sure, but I need to get something going here because I'm behind.
Okay.
So.
And I score another 5 points. Again, we were just talking. This point now, every turn is like costing me, right?
Huge because, if you would have rolled that 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, and not that that's a high percentage, but just the difference of taking this objective or not now is a 5-point difference.
Yes.
Which is huge. I'm up 8 right now, so you got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
But you obviously have the chance of the double as well as your normal shenanigans.
Yeah.
So with that, into bottom of round 3, Seraphon turn 3.
Let's do it.
right, bottom of three, Seraphon are, dealing some pain now.
It's been an interesting one, that's for sure. So I finally got use out of the skink blob. I managed, there was a few different things I was going to do. I was going to either just bring all my skinks in here, keep these 2 points, but then all 3 crawlers would have been alive. So I just did not want, because, you get 4, 5, 6 through, there have a 6-up save, that's 20 damage, 30 damage. So I went for the +1 Constellation to run and charge. I finally made an 8-inch charge. I had a reroll on it. I didn't need it, thankfully. So I got into the 2 crawlers. I killed 1 in the shooting, actually.
Yeah, and then the other one in combat.
The other one in combat, yep. And then, so I held, that was your primary, and then I got my point here.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to, somehow my Staggeron wasn't able to kill enough of the Death Riders.
I held on to that one.
Yeah, exactly. And then I actually did a little cheeky little disengage to get within 6 of that.
Yes,
from
popped out of the terrain.
The garrison, yeah. So I'm going to get 3, 4, 5, 6 for the turn.
Yep. So it only puts you 2 behind.
Yep.
And into priority, and I think this is going to not decide it, but if you win it, it's going to seal the deal.
Yeah, because I think it'll be able to
we'll roll it, see if I have any life left.
Yep.
A 2.
3.
All right.
I won a priority. All right.
And with that, I think here you're going to be easily able to clean up.
Yeah.
Your steady on kills that. And then they're just tying this up all game. And from there, the only objective you don't control right now actually is that one which you're steadied on.
Would be able to take, yeah. And
then
then I can just teleport
your little hero over to that one.
So I definitely would, I'd get 3 plus 5, so I'd get 8.
Yeah, great game.
It was crazy. It was a lot of things going on.
That's all she wrote for OBR. Major win, obviously, for Seraphon here. Now, we'll go through, I guess, a couple keys for the game from me.
Yeah.
From my perspective. First, again, taking the turn was a risky move. Mm-hmm. And I really needed to kill those 5.
Yes.
I don't think the decision was necessarily a bad one, but I needed to allocate more shots over here. What I did with both my crawlers
2 and 2
was 2 and 2 with each of them. What I should have done is put the first one in here with 4, seen what happened, and then then maybe put 2 more or 3 more, whatever.
Yep.
Because I had to kill those for my plan to work, which is basically making you relocate, right?
Yes.
Because even just that either puts your big stink blob at risk or just changes how you have to move.
Yep.
Changes the way you play. Mitigates also the double. Again, if you had have gotten it.
I felt like you were able to, no matter where I picked my point, at the beginning I felt like you had a good chance at getting it. So that's why you're right. Like if that was...
But in hindsight, I don't think that was a bad play necessarily. Potentially, but I didn't get what I wanted out of that turn, so it didn't pay off for me. Mm-hmm. Especially if I had killed those, like we were talking again, it's been 5-6 points alone that could have had an impact or preventing, again, other aspects of kind of what you're able to do.
This battle plan, I think that's important as well, because when we were talking off camera as well, if you hold them and you get tabled, if your opponent can't get to those points, you're still going to score those points each turn. So it's something to think about for players that are playing. If you're dead, you still get your points. You know what I mean?
So take it first. That was a decision.
Yeah.
Now I think it could have been used. It could have been really effective had I killed that unit. Again, better target priority there for me.
Yep.
I still think though I could have taken, I could have given away the turn, made you come up, commit, do something. And potentially, I don't think much changes actually, because you throw your salamanders forward, I still kill them.
It would have been similar. I just would have played a much more turtle. My turn 1 would have been just a little bit of reformatting. I would have left everything here out of range and still hit all my characters.
So then you're just capping. So
yeah, I would have capped just 3.
That potentially, and then I potentially have the turn to move up, shoot. And then the double to shoot again. Yeah. Could have been interesting.
I think it was scary. When you first were talking about doing that, I was, it's like, oh shit, if he kills all 3 of my 10 squads of skinks, like that could be huge. Because then I have to waste my teleport on going over there as opposed to dropping my 40 blob or my salamanders over here.
Other than that, I think I played to the best that I could with this list. Now, obviously, some huge deficiencies in this list. I could have taken 240 some odd points of extra, models from those battalions.
Yep.
Now they gave me consistent RDP, but I was never spending all my RDP.
No. Yeah, there's definitely tweaks you could have done that would have been better.
And even with that, the extra bodies is another 20 more tech. So that is a 40 blob alone.
And this is like my tournament, like my current tournament list. So yeah.
So actually, I was on that note. I was pretty happy with how the list. How the army performed.
Yeah.
Got to do their thing. Again, so what I wanted to take was bringing Catacrows in here, and it actually also lets me add 10 more Mortec.
Yeah.
Just from dropping the battalions, switching Catacrows for the Liege Cavalos.
Yeah.
Everything would have been a +1 to save.
Can he still do the +1 attacks with an RDP to the ballistas?
Yep, he still does that, and he also gives +1 to hit.
Oh.
So they're hitting on.
They're already hitting on 2.
But no natives to hit don't affect them.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, that would have been neat. Again, that's something to try out in the future.
Yeah.
In terms of this list, though, pretty happy overall with how it performed. Obviously, kind of was reliant on some of those priorities to keep me in the game. So probably giving away turn 1 would have been the better choice. But
yeah.
This is the time to make mistakes. Obviously, when we're not in an event and there's no stakes on the game. Right?
I remember you saying that. I failed my skink freeze 3-up like 4 times in a row, and it's like, yeah, do it here, not in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for me it was. I came into this. My plan was hide my heroes, obviously from the ballistas, hide my skinks back because I know they have a 6-up save. So anything that had a good save, I was leaving out. So my salamanders, which if I'm with the skink priest, they go to a 3-up. So that's great. And casting Mystic Shield, that was kind of my plan. And then just once I realized that I couldn't deep strike and get into the catapults, I just wanted to try to kill the Death Riders and try to, just score. But it's so tough when 3 of those are behind there. It's like, it's just always in the back of your head. Like you have this many damage 5 things that are going to be able to possibly get through, but it's dice. What it comes down to. Even my 10-man skink screens have a 5-up save with the shield, so that's why they kind of stuck around. I think I made a few 5-up saves. So, but yeah, like an awesome game, like always. But it's always for some reason both games we've played have been just like crazy wild games.
And the summoning. Again, you forgot on turn 2, and it almost came back to bite you again. But this time you managed to sneak it out.
Yes.
Not sneak it out. You win this game pretty effectively.
Yeah. I was telling Jordan too. So I have like a little list that I have of generate CP, generate CCP, use your abilities, and then in the biggest bold, summon and teleport, and the movement pays. And again, I forgot turn 2, and it almost bit me in the butt.
Almost did.
But, yeah. 10 skinks is nice to have as a summon, but yeah.
The only other things, like every time I run the Bone Shaper, he doesn't do anything, I find. And, I had the Endless Spell, the Burning Head, never had a chance to cast it.
Yeah.
Between that's like 150 points that I feel is also just wasted, where in a list like this, obviously you can't take this kind of a list to a mission or an event that has missions that rely on heroes.
Yes.
Because you're not running enough.
No. And I'm really good at killing heroes.
Yes,
so that's what I think I did 3 wounds to him, and then I just shot him off with the staggy. Oh, the secondaries. You didn't.
So looking back at the secondaries we chose, again, Domination, I ended up actually getting that on my turn 3, turn 2 or 3.
2 or 3,
when I managed to finish off those 5s, as well as the Salamanders, and actually I got a 4th unit in
with the Chameleons.
So Domination, I actually think was a good pick against you because you have a lot of small weak units.
Screens,
my second one was Overwhelm, which was kill a hero of yours with my battle line.
Yeah.
Really, I just didn't have the opportunity I was looking for, except if I had one priority into round 4 here, and you still, I think, would win the game.
Oh, retreat.
I just had a chance, to retreat, charge, and try and take him out.
Okay,
would have been my last play at getting that secondary.
Yeah.
Worth talking about though, because that's what you're playing for in the event, right? Even if
that's a point
like this, exactly.
Games
decided. That's a tiebreaker that could put you ahead in the standings. It's
put you on the podium essentially.
Yeah, very significant. Always something you got to keep in mind and try to play for. And that's why we want to both play those games for the battle reports as well as practice them more, because I find we have, at least me and our group, we haven't been practicing playing with our auxiliaries enough. So.
Yeah, Zach and we don't usually use them. The guy I usually play with, we don't usually use them either. But I just feel like playing in tournaments, I've got to know them a lot better. Yeah. Even like there's only maybe 3 or 4 that I don't know. Most of the other ones I know at least enough to.
And they're very impactful.
Yeah. So mine I did the kill all heroes. So I got that, which is usually pretty easy with Croak. And then my second one was Defender. So I would have won the turn, so I would have obviously just wiped the crawl here, and then I would have killed here.
Dead.
So
there's no, and that's
it would have been a table.
To the end of the game. Yeah, so there's no chance. So you store both.
So I would have got both mine. Yeah.
So that's big.
Yeah.
Good picks all around, I think. So for me, picking my auxiliaries, actually, Overwhelm was not the most ideal, but picking against you.
Yes.
You have so many heroes. You have so many battle line. That there aren't necessarily great picks I found up in this match. And actually I found that when we played in the tournament also.
To wipe me out. I
only got one of my secondaries against you in that also, because it's just, you have so many, you had one battle line unit, it was just your Saurus Guard left.
Yeah. And that counts, because they.
So
they
I had
battle
killed
line.
4 other battle line units, but
Yeah. Yeah, I never think about that playing against Seraphon because I did my first time at the last little tournament I played. It was kind of weird playing against them, but yeah, there's you're right. That makes sense.
with that, that's all she wrote. Big Seraphon win here.
Yeah.
First on the channel. Congratulations.
Finally, it's out there. Here we go.
So, as always, just want to say a big thank you for sticking around and watching the videos. We're starting to do these as live premieres on Mondays, so you can catch it live. Jump in the chat. You were actually in the chat when our last one premiered this past Monday. So it's just fun. Obviously, ongoing discussion as we go, and we have some other exciting things coming up for the channel in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled, and we'll see you soon.